everybody, happy Thursday. This is Swilly's Silly Segments number 5, and we've got a pretty good little show for you today. The first thing you might notice is I finished my Star Wars ears. Yes, as you can see, Darth Maul. He is my favorite of the Siths, and he made the cut. So I'm pretty excited about my ears. However, if you're a Darth Vader fan and you flip to the back, Darth Vader managed to work his way onto the back of my ears. So I guess technically they are sort of reversible, but those are the backs. So this is the front, and I will put those back on after I show you and model for you the ears that I made before, which are my leopard ears. Now, these are awesome, but they weigh 9 million pounds. I kind of got them stuffed pretty fat. So I'm not sure how long I'll be wearing these guys in the animal kingdom. Sorry about me needing to take a drink periodically. I'm fighting some allergy drainage. It's kind of stuck in my throat. So anyway, I may have a future in ear making. So we'll just see about coming up with some names. But I'm looking forward to someday getting to walk around Disney and Galaxy's Edge and get to wear my ears. So I'm going to wear them today for you because I made them. And also, as you can see, I have on my Sith shirt and the star background. So obviously the theme for today is stars or Star Wars. All right, before we start talking about other things, let's talk about AMIs really quickly. By tomorrow, you should be through day 12. I did the math. All right, if you're keeping a pace of keeping one per day, you should be through 12 tomorrow. So if you're like on maybe 5 at this point, you're probably going to want to start doing them so they don't all rack up on you last minute, because it will be harder than you think to get them all done in the last moment. All right, so make sure you get those taken care of. Email any of your teachers if you have questions. Alexander Hamilton. Well, take a look at this picture. As you can see, it makes a great place to sit my binoculars. I did take the book in and out 3 times today, going to read on the porch, and then I got out there and the birds were being exciting to watch, and Disney emoji was fun to play, and yeah, that's what I did. So, no Alexander Hamilton, but I will get there hopefully. I also checked on the bud rows while I was out, and I did draw the buds. And you'll notice that if you can't see very well on the sizes, it's not focused. There we go. That the stems are bigger, and the leaves are bigger. But now, please notice bud row number 3. Yeah, leaves don't grow down. I wish I had an exciting story to tell you about how I saw a bird fly on and land on the twig and peck at that leaf until it broke and flopped over to the side, or I don't know what else exciting story could, like a rabid squirrel running loose about. But no, that's not what happened. So I had tied a yellow ribbon on the branch, so I remembered which buds that I was going to be observing. And it was windy today. And so the yellow yarn wrapped around the twig, and I went to get it loose. And when I pulled it, instead of pulling it the way that would have loosened it, it tightened it. And bud row number 3 went. So it was my own fault. So we're going to have just a moment of reflection for bud row number 3. And then we're going to move on with our lives, because as my friend Pumbaa once said, you've got to keep your behind in your past. Alrighty. Goodbye, bud row number 3. I will keep you updated on how the other 3 buds are doing. And if bud row number 3 starts looking too pathetic, wilting and dying, I might pluck it off of there before the next time. Alrighty, I'm going to drink really quickly. This day in history. I realized that I've been doing an awful lot of sciencey stuff, and I've been leaving my poor history class out. And so one of the things that we did in history, 7th graders, that you don't know about because you're not in 8th grade history class, is our bell ringers were this day in history. And I would tell them something that happened in U.S. history on that day. So I'm going to do that every time, just to bring in a little history. So on today's date, April the 2nd, in 1917, Jeanette Rankin, the first woman to be elected to the U.S. Congress from Montana. And what was interesting enough is she was elected, but the House of Representatives spent a month discussing whether they would actually allow a woman to serve before she was able to start serving at the beginning of April. And the very day that she began her term as a representative, President Woodrow Wilson addressed Congress and urged for a declaration of war against Germany. So we had the beginnings of what would be World War I. But Jeanette Rankin, first woman elected to Congress as a representative from the state of Montana. Very interesting, I think. If you're interested in reading any of these days in history and you've got access to the internet, super, super easy. You just get on to history.com and there's a tab on the top that says this day in history, or if you're on your phone, there's 3 little lines on the side, look like, I'll call them the hamburger lines, whatever. But you click on them and you can click on this day in history. You scroll down past the first story and then it'll list several things and you can look at the ones you're most interested in. So this day in history, history.com. Super interesting website. Really easy to do. All righty. Now, we had our competition and we had over 45 people vote for the winning photographs. And interesting enough, we actually had a tie, which I thought was really cool. And so right now, drum roll please. Congratulations to pictures number 3 and number 5. Picture number 3 was taken by Maya in the 7th grade. Picture number 3 was taken by an 8th grader who hasn't let me know yet that I can say her name online. So, and she does, I'll come back and do that in the next session. But both of these people won, and I thought they did great. The other 3 pictures got a lot of votes as well. And I had a lot of people who said this is extremely hard to pick between because all the pictures were so good. So I appreciate that. And I'm really proud of you guys for doing that. Now, I had a request from a person who didn't get to participate in this one to have another photo contest. And so we're going to do that. This photo contest is going to be called Zoom into April. Zoom into April, which I think if you can figure out by listening, zoom meaning zoom in, take a zoomed in picture. And so I've got an example of a zoomed in picture that I've taken, and it's going to be right here. There you go. And I took that one today. It doesn't have to be super, super zoomed in, but just find something that's interesting, zoom in on it, and try to take the picture in an interesting way. Now, if you can identify what my picture is zoomed in of, and you're the first person to reply in the comments below, then I will paint a rock of your choosing. Hint, it's something that was photographed in a bigger picture in one of my other videos. So if you know what that zoomed in is and you're the first to comment, then you can win a rock. For those of you that want to enter the competition, you may text or email me your pictures. I need those by next Thursday at noon. You have a week from today. Next Thursday at noon, I need those pictures if you want to enter that competition. And then we'll have voting again like we did for this one. So zoom into April. Got to be something that is zoomed in. Make it interesting. We want to see some cool pictures. All right. That's all I know. I'm going to I don't know if I'm keeping it short or not. Every time I go to edit these things and they're longer than I think, I'm like, what? But my voice is about to go. So I need to get a drink and rest it. I'm doing great. Besides having these allergies I'm fighting with, still trying to get out and get a little exercise. I hope you're all well. I miss you a lot. I've been texting a little bit with Mr. Hill and Miss Shearer and Mr. Keys and some others, and they're all doing well. And we just miss you guys a lot. And if you need anything, please let us know. And I will do a video probably Monday or Tuesday. But don't forget the Zoom into April photo competition by next Thursday. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you later.